also uh, trying to establish fair hiring practices, because they wouldn't even allow a black man to work in the police department, the fire department. He can only be relegated to the garbage department and other demenial jobs in Memphis. Some straight up Jim Crow shit, for real. Hardcore. That's why they call it the Dirty South. Because there's some dirty motherfuckers. Now they still playing brothers today. You know, so there was a big plan, nonviolent demonstration, in honor of Dr. King on his birthday that day. And so after supper, after the supper meal, everybody come back to, we ain't locking up. Silent protest, for a minute, hour or two, and then we lock up and they call it a day. But one of the administrative inspectors came and up in there and said, and they talked to the leader that was the head of the group, and he said, I know you organized this and anything happened, what I'm saying, we're gonna lock your ass up, blah, 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 blah. So he put his tail between his ass and, told all his crew, to lock up, when they open the doors. Now, I had already committed, mind you, to roll with these motherfuckers, man. I had also went to Special Meadows and put me a bone crusher together just in case some shit might have got out of control. I might have to put some work in, And so we go to supper and we come back and No, somebody had said something about that guy. Somebody on my gallery had said something about me negatively. And I was finna butcher his ass. But the guys at work told me that he don't really want it like that, Cleve. But I still put my piece together, just in case. Because when I got back, I checked that sucker, man. Because he was the one that informed the inspectors that the shit was finna go down, earlier that day. So I get back to the unit. We go to chow, we go to supper, and come back. These motherfuckers lock up. But mind you, I've already made my mind up. Because I was from Memphis, man. I can't, not stand up for Dr. King with what he did for us and our people, man. In my community, I can't, not make a stand, for him, nonviolent, But, so when they all locked up, now mind you, this particular officer, he was an asshole, man. Straight up. I didn't like the way he was bullying people, bullying inmates, these so-called killers and shit. This bitch motherfucker, European, come up there kicking the door down, get out of the cell, shake down. He just thought he was a gangster, And, I didn't like the way he was, these guys were allowing him to to dictate to them like that, man, to intimidate them like that. And then you in 4 Block. 4 Block was at the time considered the toughest unit in the whole system. You know, level 4 Block, you know what I mean? And he kicking those in like he a alien nest or some motherfucker. By his motherfucking self. He didn't even have a crew. And I'm seeing the bitchness in this motherfucker all the time. I'm watching this motherfucker. I know he a bitch. But I'm like, man, you got these buffalo in on these motherfucking killers, man. So this was my opportunity to get at this bitch, man. You know, excuse my French, but this was my opportunity to get at this sucker, this lame. You know, because I never liked him from day one. Then he had this nice looking little snow buddy, you know, as his little partner, you know, with a little fine ass, you know. So he was really fronting for her, you know, in front of her, you know, like he that motherfucking G, you know. So, excuse my language, I'm getting into the penitentiary life, so I might slip into that mindset. And, but, you know, so when they closed the door and everybody locked up, we had the brakemen that was breaking the doors, old-fashioned doors, cell doors. You had to lift the levers up for the locks, the doors to unlock to pull them back, to open. So he locked them. He opened the door. Everybody went in, they closed the door back. So it was just me, the brakeman, and the officer. So I pulled the bone crusher out. I snatched the officer. I said, hey, man. I said, don't move. I said, this is like a needle-nose ice pick. At the slightest pressure, this motherfucker will go through your whole body, bones and all. He tried to grab it. I put a little more pressure on it. He let it go. He tried to be a superhero, but he seen I knew what I was talking about. I knew what I had. And I described it to him, and I described the capability of what this motherfucker can do. So I took him around to the desk. And I put him up under the desk. Get your bitch, get up under the desk. So I get on the intercom, man. You know, they had a little shed over the desk. You couldn't really see from the gun turret down. You couldn't really see the desk area because it had a little hood like over the top of it, you know, for the whole station area. And and that was where the gun turret at. So the other people, other gun turrets, they couldn't see me. So I get on the mic, I get on the intercom, man, snatch the thing off the intercom, and I talk to the whole unit. I said, man, Dr. King would turn over in his grave today, man. I said, this is the most cowardice act I ever seen in my life. You know, all the things that man done for us. You was gonna lock up, man. You couldn't even make a stand, a peaceful stand. You know, I said, man, I'd rather be dead, man, than be living around a bunch of coward motherfuckers like you, man. Because I knew it was a possibility at that moment, when I had that officer up under that desk, that they can shoot me and kill me. My life, at that moment, my life was on the line. You know, so, so he, you know, to make a long story short, eventually the police came through, and they was surrounding the desk area, and you know, I let them subdue me and shit. I could have fucked them all up, but I didn't. I just wanted to demonstrate and just tell them lanes how I felt, man. How they just, gonna set this protest up, then they gonna cave in like a bunch of broads. That's all I wanted to do. So once they subdued me, they got me on the ground. You remember the movie Do the Right Thing with Spike Lee? When they killed the brothers, the police was choking him, and they thought he was resisting, but they had him off the ground. His feet was just dangling. They thought he was resisting. It wasn't resisting because his feet was off the ground. He was just trying to, couldn't breathe, motherfucker. So that's how the guy had me, man. He got like, this mother trying to kill me. So I said, well, I know one thing. I ain't gonna move. I ain't gonna resist. And I'm gonna just go limp. And it's for as long as I can. And if he kill me in a limp state, then I'm just dead. But I ain't gonna give that motherfucker no reason to kill me by trying to fight out of it and move around and all that. So I went limp, like I was dead. And just so happens, a couple of inmates came down. They must have broke their doors because you can put little plugs in your door slot where the lever won't come all the way down, even though your door will be shut. You can still pull it open. Just so happened a couple of the guys had a couple plugs, in their door, and they got themselves out. They came down and said, don't kill him, don't kill him, don't kill him. They saved my life. Because had they not been a witness, police probably would have killed me because surrounded by all his comrades and shit. None of them motherfuckers said don't kill him or stop or nothing. So them two inmates, old heads. I was a youngster, 25, 26, going on 26 that month. And they saved my life, man. So I go to solitary confinement, and I saw a couple more officers, I threw something, hit one in the face with some shit, something I don't know what it was, but I ended up catching 3 cases. To add on top of what I already had. I caught a 10 to 15, an 8 to 10, and a 6 to 10 on top of what I already had. And so, they put me in solitary confinement. So I was there for about a year. Because, was that 85? Yeah. In 86. Yeah, I think I ended up being transferred in 87. So I might have spent a couple of years in solitary confinement after that. But one night I was in solitary confinement. Now, mind you, inmates think I'm halfway crazy now. They see a nigga jump on the table in the kitchen with gun turrets all the way around, didn't give a fuck what they was shooting or not, and beat a motherfucker's ass. Excuse my language, like I said, I'm zoning back out into that time frame again. Y'all gotta excuse me, when I go there, I spaz out. It was a war zone, So, and one evening, I'm just talking, talking out the bars, late at night in solitary confinement. We always, just talking to some fellas, man. Just really blabbering, just talking. and a voice next to me yelled out, "You don't know a motherfucking thing. You don't know shit. You just talking. You don't know nothing." Now, mind you, I got a little reputation now. So the first thought that go across my mind when they break these doors in the morning, if there's any way possible, I'm fucking my man. I'm gonna do something to my man. If they break these doors and I get the opportunity, I'm gonna do something to him. But then it occurred to me, I said, wait a minute. I know that voice. That sounds like Johnny Pope. So I sat down on the bed and I started contemplating what he said. And I really gave it some serious consideration.